Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for listening to this episode of Rich Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. If you have been listening to my episodes, I'm sure some of the things would have started shifting for you. So, how many of you feel that there's a unique gift that each one of us has to share with the world? And if we don't share that, then the world would be an incomplete place. So, like we all have our own unique fingerprint, similarly, we have our own gift to share with the world. So, today I have Mr. Arpit Arora with me. Arpit is a passive income expert. He has been coaching and working with entrepreneurs to help them build passive income and reduce their dependence on their business income. He has an experience of over 13 years now. He's also a Philip Kotler awardee in financial coaching. To those of you who don't know, Philip Kotler is one of the most prestigious awards in management and marketing. And Arpit also has his own organization, Ask the Wise Guy, where he helps entrepreneurs build passive income. So, welcome, Arpit, to the show, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm obliged to be here. Thank you.
So, Arpit, started this podcast because I wanted to help people have a more prosperous life. So, I want to understand from you, why do you think that people struggle financially?
Well, that makes it two of us. And now that I have started a podcast, but our mission is the same. Why I feel people struggle in life, I think it's predominantly due to the mindset. I've been really observing people from different walks of life, people who are entrepreneurs, who are students, who are retired, who are 23 years of age, who are 80 years of age, and having the luxury of spending enough time with a lot of influential people out there. So a combined wisdom is what I've been able to gather over these years. And I can safely say that it's the mindset that one needs to really upgrade if they want to upgrade their financial results. So it's all here.
Right. So, it's with the mind that you can overcome this struggle.
Absolutely. Whatever it is, see, uh, we've known this through spirituality. We've known this through law of attraction. That whatever you believe, your thoughts actually start becoming reality. So your thoughts started becoming your feelings. Your feelings start becoming emotions. Emotions start becoming actionable steps, and those actionable steps give you a result. And those results start shaping your destiny. So when we just put finance in the context, it's just a financial thought that you have, which can give you a financial destiny that you deserve. So only the people who are deserving, in fact, should I say, the people who are financially deserving are the people who are financially wise. So it comes from the mindset. Everything is mindset.
Right. So, talking about being financially wise, what do you how do you define financial freedom, and why do you think financial freedom is so important for everyone, and why should people look for financial freedom?
So, in my understanding, financial freedom is just not having any money worries. Simple. If you don't have any money worries, you are financially free. Now, if I look at a common man, obviously we're not talking about monks here, but if I talk about a common man like you and me, or billions of people out there, so for all of us, the kind of we've actually built ourselves in a way that our lifestyle sometimes becomes overwhelming for our income. And it's not just us, it's predominantly everyone, because that need inside of getting more is always there. So I believe that if one is able to overcome that by creating enough income for which they're not working very, very hard themselves, is a kind of life which is ideal. So for me, if I am following, and you also asked that what is the meaning of financial freedom to you? In my mission in my life, I have a very simple mission that I want to help over 1 million people to live a life which is free of money worries, so that, now this is the important line, so that they're able to live a life where they're able to pursue their passion and they're able to live within a peace and joy. So I think these are the three pillars in life which are connected to financial freedom. because it's not just money worries that you have to overcome. Everyone has a purpose in life as well. And the problem is that money becomes the biggest distraction on people's journey towards their passion. So that money worries can only be taken aside if someone has, created a system through which they're easily able to meet and exceed their financial needs. That on a monthly basis, and being joyous and peaceful is a natural state and being of life, which many people are not able to experience over a prolonged period. So they only get happy when they buy a new car. They only get happy when they have, watched a new movie or when they've had a good drink. But I certainly believe that, these are things which are, this is the natural norm of your body. And how can you achieve that? So you have to take away all the kind of distractions which are keeping you away from the kind of experience I'm talking about. So these are the three center pillars for me. Uh, Having money worries free, which is financial independence, following your passion because that is what gets you going every day, and then being happy and joyous with what you're doing, being peaceful about it. I think that's the perfect life.
Wow. So, to everyone who's listening, being financial freedom and why is it important is to free yourself from the money worries, live your passion, and live a more happy and joyous life. And have talking about this, that making a fixed money on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, and not having to eliminate all those money worries. How do you take passive income in that sense, in that direction? How do you define passive income?
See, as the word says it, passive is everything that you don't have to put your active time into, active effort into. So it is a concept that has been there for a very long period, but its need has really emerged in the recent times. And this is a concept which was predominantly more Western, which has now also started becoming, it is actually taking India by a storm right now, because people from across pan India are, and especially young people are reaching out to me and saying, how is it that I can create passive income? So let's first understand what is passive income. Passive income is that income for which you do not work for, and there are various tremendous amount of ways you can create it. There is affiliate marketing. You can do YouTube videos. You can write a book, get royalty on the research. You can get royalty if you have a patent or per se. Or there are more defined ways. So all of these would require you to have a certain skill set. So you have to be unique in what you do. Or the other way is that the other way which I actually teach is how you can create, use your wealth, existing wealth, wherever it is, howsoever it is doing, and remold it in such a way that it starts giving you monthly income from that. So this is the other, I would say, a more sure short way, because it is basically dependent on a system and a strategy, which can easily be taught and automated. So that is my way of creating passive income, although that is not just the only way to do it, obviously.
Right. So, how did would you like to share your journey with everyone? Like, how did you get in the financial, the passive income coaching business, and why are you doing what you are doing?
This is a very vital question, because a man's past, his experience actually takes a very big, or should I say, is the driven factor for why they do and what they do. So a little bit about myself. I left India when I was 18. I was just after my schooling, to be honest. I think my parents had had enough of me, and they wanted to send this spoiled brat to England. So just 18, I went to England. While I was doing my graduation from Roehampton University, I also started working in Pizza Hut and Subway. So that was the start of a different me altogether, because so far I was, I was definitely a spoiled brat, spoon fed, and things started really changing. So at the age of 19, I said, I've done enough of the harder work, and let me get an office job while I'm still doing my graduation. So I was thankful to get into a market research company at the time called Sinovate, which is a MNC, by the way. Also, they have offices in India as well. Now, that was the start of my research career. But at the time, it was more dominant towards marketing. Right after I completed my graduation, I got into financial sales. I wanted to do something more challenging than that. So that was the start of my financial side of work, where I actually worked in a financial company. And funny that I don't know why and how, but I did say to my manager, who interviewed me at the time, I did tell him that I will be taking his position within 2 years, and that I probably will be the most highest paid person in their company within 2 years itself. And when I walked out, I knew for a fact I'm not going to get this job because he's going to say, "What kind of person is this? I'm not going to hire him." To my surprise, 2 days later, I got a call and they said that, we're looking exactly for people like you,
Wow,
which
brilliant.
obviously was a surprise to me. So, and in 1.5 years, I was the manager in that company of sales. I was the top performing person in the sales bit. We had about 40, 45 people. And I was making more money as the top sales agent than the management itself, because that is the kind of bonuses we got.
Wow.
And when I took up the management position, spending a little bit time there, I started doing my MBA from the London School of Commerce. I did that in finance and marketing. So that really shaped up my career or education alongside while I was pursuing my career. But in 2011-12, it was one of the most crucial years of my life, because someone who was so honestly speaking, it was a very good life. I bought my first BMW. I was looking to buy a house. I was just extending my visa for which would have entitled me for permanent residency in UK after spending 10 years there, because I had already spent 7. So someone who's on the brink of settling in England, I actually made a decision to let go of my job, my car, my house, my potential PR, and I wanted to come back to India. Being a support system in the family, I'm the only son, so I realized that I have to do something bigger than myself. So coming to India was a very big cultural shock. I still remember the days I used to go crazy driving, and I'm thinking, why did I even come back? So that first 3 months was very, very tough. One of the hardest times in my life. But I said, I have to pull myself together and I have to start thinking back towards what am I so passionate about. And I realized that although my family is from the steel trading or manufacturing at the time, but my interest was all about finance. My interest was all about marketing or research. These were 3 things I knew I was really good at, and I'd spend most of my time. So I said, should I uh, carry on what my parents have been doing, or should I do something that I'm born for? So that thought really, ignited a different fire within me. So I took up a job in Royal Bank of Scotland as a financial analyst. I worked there about a year, and thereon I built and I saw what India lacks, and I knew it was research-based investing. So thereon I saw a very big gap in the Indian markets, and along with my 2 partners, I started Trendlines, who's been here for over 7 years now, and it is a SEBI registered research analyst. So we basically in that company have the same acumen as that fund managers or portfolio managers do. But that was not just the end of it. I uh, over the last 3 to 4 years, I could see that my father was not keeping up very well. He had 2 heart attacks back to back, and he had to take a break from his work, and that really put a lot of financial pressure in the house. So we've been doing well, and God forbid, we've been doing decently well. But I could see that everything was so dependent on his active income, on his business, that in 1 year we really had our eyes wide open that how are we going to manage like this? So we are completely and solely dependent on the business to take care of the family. And that 1 year I actually spent more time looking inside than looking outside. I spent a lot of time looking at my father's assets. I strategize his assets in such a way that it starts creating a passive income for him first. The same things I was conceptualizing, I started implementing that with my own father. And when we started seeing the results, this father-son jugalbandi that we had, this was actually started to creating, it was starting creating results for us. And I could see that, my one-time very stressed father was now living a more, relaxed life. He did not have that financial pressure on him anymore. And I thought, is it just my father who feels like this, or would there be other people feeling the same thing? And I also asked myself that if I've learned all of these things, should I only focus on, helping the rich to get richer, or the ultra rich to get even richer? Or should I do something more and above beyond that? And that is when the idea of Ask the Wise Guy came into my head. And I said that, what if I'm able to help people at large? What if I'm not just restricted to their investments, but also to everything, whatever they have, wherever they have, and start giving them the biggest comfort of money coming into their account every month? Because that's what really everyone is running after. And they're compromising the most important things in their life, their health, their family, the things that they care for, their hobbies, so many things. Actually, I believe that we forget our purpose of life, why we are born in the quest of making more money. And that really was, something that I could feel for my father, because he compromised his health. And that's when I made a promise that, whatever I can do in my power, I will do. And if I've learned something, I will definitely create a system and structure that can help more people and other people in the same way to not go through what we had to go through. And that was it. There was no looking back after that.
Wow, that was really touching. So you combined your interests of research, finance, and marketing, combined it with the situation that happened with your father, and then you guys started having results, and then you took it as your mission to help everyone be more financially free and live the life with passion and live for what their mission is. Wow, that's really like amazing. So,
Thank you.
just in our conversation, you talked about the system which you developed, which helps people generate passive income. So, how do you yourself apply that system in your life? And like you talked about applying it in your with your father's wealth. And is there
Yeah.
more particular incidents where you made money applying that system? And are you still you do that?
It's actually a way of life now, Anshul, because uh, every, you know, me as a person was a spendthrifter when I was in England. Everything I used to buy was nothing short of Armani, and I'm not even kidding you. So, people used to give me gifts of Armani itself because they knew that this guy would expect nothing less. So, from a person like that, I've, really changed myself. I've been thankful to the universe for what I have. But now things don't really, shiny things don't attract me anymore. I tend to live a more simplistic, more subtle life. And that thing of, attraction towards the bling has gone altogether. So uh, basic rules is I actually transformed as a person altogether mentally. Like I said, it all starts with the mental. So I started with the very aspect of living a simpler life, living within the means first. And then on top of that, whatever I was able to save, apart from my father's money, whatever I was able to personally save, rather than spending into, I still remember coming back from England, I spent every penny I had. My mindset back then was, whatever I've saved, let me give gifts to my parents. I bought my father a Rolex, bought iPad for my mom, this and that. So the intention there was not come back with any money, come back with gifts. Now, how it has changed me is that I try to limit myself with what I need rather than what I want. Following Warren Buffett's philosophy that, if you keep on buying things that you want, you'll end up one day selling the things that you need. So that really thing has, penetrated within my lifestyle. So that was the very basis. And then slowly and slowly, because you are doing, using your own hard earned money, which later you've squandered a lot. So you tend to make very, very smart decisions with your money, and that is on the same system I started building, the whole system that I was telling you about. So every investment that I make, every money wherever I park it, we don't just look into the liquidity, the safety, security, returns, but I look at how is this going to help me enhance my living as well, or how is this going to enhance my this sense of security, the financial security, or my passive income. So eventually, now the lifestyle is all about how to create as much as possible with whatever you can, and then the creation's growth should start taking care of you. So this is a way of living now, and this is how I've been using it for my own self. And this is going to be a snowball as the years come, because it's only going to go bigger and bigger.
Right. So, all those who are listening, if you have been someone who's been settling for no less than an Armani and thinking of a Ferrari, and so you have a live example of someone who has really transformed, who got aware and has really transformed, and now has started really building wealth. And Arpit, so talking about you having spent all your money and now living a more simplistic life, now thinking about what are the things that really add value to you. What do you think is the role of money management in our whole life?
I think predominantly 80% of our life revolves around money itself. And what we do, the kind of relationships we have with people are also affected by money. Professionally, everything is all about money anyways. So there are only few places where money is completely not a factor, or few things that money cannot buy, but everything else, I won't say you need a MasterCard, but you definitely need passive income. So I believe that this is that aspect of life that has to be very, very well managed, and which is the money management. Because not only will it affect your lifestyle, your destiny, it will also affect your relationships. And I've seen that, we all know friends and family, and mostly within, who have not been able to keep up with us because of, money differences. And it is very, very common. You see it in Ambani's, and you can see it in, your neighbor or in your own house as well. Money plays a very big important role. And for people who are able to manage money, are the people who are able to manage everything else as well in a better scope. The only thin line where I like to draw this is that, money should not overcome your purpose of life, because money is not something you should be running after. Money should be a consequence of what you do, and the reflection of how well you do is the money that you get, and the reflection of how well you manage the money is a almost a replicant of the kind of lifestyle that you live. And lifestyle doesn't just mean, driving a good car or living in a big house, but it also would mean an overall prosperous life, a life where you can, like I said initially, like where you can follow your passion. Because what you're trying to buy from money is not really things. You're actually trying to buy time. Ask someone who is 80, does he want more stuff or does he want more time? Eventually, it's all about time. If we have more money, we have to work less. If we have the liberty to work less, can we really follow the things we are born for? Think from that perspective, Anshul. Do you think when God made us, was he thinking that, this human being should make 5 lakh rupees a month? Or was he thinking that this human being is made to achieve a certain thing in their life? And that obviously would be to inspire people, help people, and so many other things, help the poor, help the needy, help your friend. I don't know, so many things you can do in life, But are we all, including myself, are we able to do that? I don't think so, because money is always a constant distraction. So only and only if you have systems in place to take care of all that, can you really be able to focus on things that really matter. So that is, I think it's 80% of life is all about money management.
Wow. So this is pure gold, and I absolutely agree with you what you said, that money is a consequence. So everyone who's been listening and who thinks that money is not that important, I think you have your answer right there. Because honestly, I have been someone, even before 2018, I always had a very comfortable life. So even to me, I was not really giving that much importance to money or financial freedom. And once i once I understood it and what all you talked about, this makes absolutely sense. And 80% of it, like you said, affects. And true, very true, even our relationships are affected to a great extent with the money, with the blueprint that we have. So just moving forward, having talked about money management and creating passive income, the importance of passive income, are there some ideas which you can give to all the listeners so they can start creating passive income where they are?
Absolutely. I think one should always start from within. And when we talk about money management, what I mean by within is the money that we already have. And I believe that, the very first steps should be to actually manage what you have, and that in a very efficient way. So let me ask you, Anshul, have you ever seen a person who actually vends sugarcane juice? Right? Have you ever had that sugarcane juice on the roadside? So,
Yes.
do you remember how much effort that vendor puts into
Right.
putting that sugarcane again and again through that machine that he has? So he actually ensures that every single drop of sugarcane is processed through it, and there's nothing left, right? So I would like to take an extract from that very incidents, that even with our own money that we have, wherever we have, whatever we have, it doesn't matter if you have 10 crores or 10 lakhs. The question is that if you're not able to manage 10 lakh rupees efficiently, you definitely cannot manage 1 crore efficiently. And the universe is only going to bless you with more money if you are a good money manager. So you can completely forget about 10 crores ever in your life if you're not managing that 10 lakh efficiently. So one needs to first look within and see what they've got. And then once they know what they've got, they need to start optimizing that first and using that to a benefit or a structure through which they can start creating monthly income out of it. So predominantly where people's money is, 80% of the money is in properties these days. And that has been coming from the old mindset that people have. That's something that hasn't been working very well in the last 10 years. Now, then people invest in gold, they invest in real estate, they invest in debt, and they also invest in insurances. So predominantly 5 assets is where the money is. So one needs to start looking and quantifying how much money do they have, because I haven't come across anyone who knows what is their net worth. And even if they do know their net worth, they don't know what is the rate at which the net worth is growing. And even if they know what rate if the net worth is growing, is it even beating inflation? Well, answer always comes as a no, no, no for all three of them, even if one is a yes. The point is that if your money is not even outpacing the inflation, then are you really even growing your money, or do you even have money, or do you have a system which degrows your money? That's a very big question for reflection. That is where someone who wants to live the kind of lifestyle I'm talking about should start at looking into what you have and how is it doing. Because if I want to work upon myself, I first have to assess myself. And this is a very good way of assessing your own self, knowing what you've done, what has been the consequence, and what are the things that are not working for you, what are the things that are working for you. So that is how I started, and that is exactly how I induce every student who comes or gets associated with me, because it all starts from self-reflection. And then comes the system mindset and the skill set needed to be where you want to be.
Wow. So the first step is starting within, like you said, and knowing the number. So if you are someone who's looking to build the wealth, so knowing your number, what is your net worth, and what are the asset classes that you are currently, and what is the rate of growth of your net worth, and compared it with the inflation in the economy. So that is the first starting point everyone who's looking to build wealth should have.
Absolutely.
Right. And talking about your students and your programs, would you like to just tell everyone what are the programs that you do and how they help people? How are people breaking through with them?
So, Anshul, the same thing that I've shared with you, I do it in a more elaborative way in a webinar that I have called Mission Financial Nirvana. So, here we basically talk about the different assets that people invest in, how people traditionally invest into them, and how they can be optimized in such a way. So, So basically, I have a program called Mission Financial Nirvana, and in this program, I exactly share the same things I've just briefed with you, where we talk about asset by asset through which people can optimize the money that they already have. See, the thing is that people have been investing with the old mindset. So if I typically say the car that we drive, how old is it? 5 years, 2 years, 3 years? But the phone that you use, how old is it? Maybe a year or 2 year old, or 3 year old. But the investment psychology or the style that people have been using is 15, 20, 30 year old. And we expect the outcome to be up to date. And that is never going to happen. If we keep on upgrading our systems, we keep on upgrading our technology, if we keep on upgrading our phone, our lifestyle, our cars, people have to upgrade their financial IQ as well to be able to do and get the results that they really want out of their money, because financial investing or management is so dynamic that one always has to be on the tune of what the markets require you to do, not just equity or debt or property or insurance, any asset. I'm in fact referring to every single asset right now. So that program is all about what you have been doing and how you can optimize it and bring it to a higher state where you can actually start creating more income out of it. And then, because that's a very short program of about an hour and a half or 2 hours, I actually have an 8 week program as well called Masterclass Financial Nirvana, where just like Netflix, I actually have recorded chapter by chapter of how one needs to move from the self reflection, learn the mindset, then learn the systems and as well as the skill set required to optimize to the best state possible. If every asset that they have, how to manage the taxation, how to do asset allocation, how to move money from one asset to another, how to create that fixed monthly passive income, and most importantly, create that system which works for you throughout the year, throughout your life, rather than having that need to always run after money or withdraw money from your business or be dependent on your salary to live the kind of life that you want to live. So I want to make people completely independent from the dependency that they have on their business or the job. So that program is very intensive. It is all about implementation and learning. So that is something that is making a deep impact in the people, and I'm very certain that this is going to take India by a storm. And that is the
Wow,
same intention I started with, and the same results I'm getting.
amazing. So yeah, you rightly said that, and I have seen a lot of people who earn a lot of money and then they give it to some financial advisors or stockbrokers to invest their money, and not having spent on their own wisdom, their own development on, like you said, the newer methods of investing, and then they expect results which are at par with the current level. So absolutely. And one question that I would like to ask you, which I think you keep getting asked a lot, is how do people, like, a common conception is that you need money to make money and you need money to make passive income, and how do people break through that? Because if someone who is in a job, who doesn't have that much wealth as of now to put in stocks or put in debt, how do they start?
So let me answer that from every stage of life. Okay. For someone who's a student, they definitely would not have wealth unless they're considering their parents' money. These are the people who should be spending their time, effort, energy, and money into learning the skill set and learning the mindset required For them, the systems do not matter right now, because what exactly I teach is the mindset, the skill set, and the system to create passive income for life. For a student, it is very important to learn, definitely 110% have to learn the mindset. If you learn the mindset, then you're sorted for life. I really wish someone had taught me the things that I teach today. I right now would be 10 times of where I am, had that been happened with me. And that is the same impact I want to make in other people's life as well. So for a student stage of life, this definitely, learning the mindset is very, very important. Now, let's talk about someone who's in a job or has just started or does not have a lot of wealth. So Anshul, there are two things to it. One, do I have an existing state of lot of wealth or not? Say you don't have, but you're working, so means you're earning. If you're earning, means you're having a cash flow in. Now, for someone like this, they should learn how to live within their means to be able to save something every month. Yes. And save also in such a way that they're investing into cash producing assets rather than cash reducing assets. The thing is that a lot of people, when they invest in different type of places, often it is seen that after investing, it takes more money to keep up that asset or maintain that asset, or it does not create a positive cash flow for them. This is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people in the working, who are professionals, who are working or just started. Those are the people who are making, these are the common mistakes those people are making. So whatever they're able to save, they should start channeling that in those assets slowly by slowly. Even 1,000 rupees a month, a person can invest. So I'm sure everyone can invest 1,000 rupees a month, right? So it's not about they don't have money. The question is, do they have the will to make money or not? And if they have the will to make money, then first ensuring that you are able to create a saving out of your money is important, from the salary or whatever you get. And then from that, channeling that money into the investment, which can create a positive cash flow, is utmost important. And then slowly, like I said, it's all a snowball effect. Even Warren Buffett started like that. He was, selling newspapers. He was distributing newspapers door to door at the age of 10 or 11. So everyone can do it. It is simply a matter of mindset or a will, like I said. So then let's move to someone who is more matured and, in the 30s or 40s or has a business. Someone like that would now be making more income than in both the first two phases of life. Now, these are people who might have now built some asset or definitely have a higher level of income. These are people who can very aggressively start building more wealth and start aggressively investing now, because after this, their income span and age span both are going to definitely be affected in the time to come. So this is a good time to start taking higher risks. Between 25 to 40 is it's a very, very good time where you can start aggressively investing in your future. Now, for someone who's moved from 35s, 40s going into 50s now this, for this set of people, they by now definitely have built a house. In most cases, they've built a house. They have some insurances on the side. They've had some gold. So these are people who have wealth. They actually need to remanage their wealth. And anyone after this stage is all falling in the same category itself. So different stages of life would require you to take a different kind of a tactical move to be able to create what I'm saying. But I definitely say that there is no one who does not need what I'm referring to here, because this is as big a necessity in life as water, right? If 80% of your life is going to revolve around money, if 80% of your body is water, the numbers match, right? So one has to learn first the mindset, then the skill set, and then the system. And they will be required throughout your life. That's how I personally feel.
Wow, I think that was really helpful to everyone in each stage of life which they are. So if you are someone who's just starting out or in a job, I think what Arpit shared, that start simplifying your life. And I want every listener to introspect. Are you investing in assets which are reducing your cash or which are actually increasing your cash? So are they cash generating assets or they cash depleting assets? And to someone who's already has a reasonable life, who's already in a good stage of life. So the need is to introspect and look how we can remanage, how we can manage better in a better way, which can generate more wealth and more return for us. So that was I think really helpful for all the listeners. So I think we're coming to an end of the show. So what is the final message that you'd like to leave with everyone who's listening?
Well, I'm gonna say a more emotional statement here, but and also using this with my mission in life, that I really feel that every one of us is very unique in our own ways, and every one of us has two or three things in their life that they're able to do better than anyone else in the world. The only point of matter is that how are you able to identify those two to three things that you can do very well. Then after identifying, how are you able to monetize on those things that you're able to do very well. Because here, I'm going to say this and make a point here, that a lot of people say that you should not monetize everything. I believe that if you're really good at something, you should get paid for it. And it is a matter of your choice if you want to give it to charity or spend it on yourself or create passive income from it, whatever you want. But you should always get paid for what you are able to do very well. That, if you're not doing, you're basically disregarding the power of money. You're disrespecting money. So one needs to overcome the mental barriers with money. One needs to be able to identify what they're really good at and be able to make a positive impact in the world, because it, everyone has a purpose. They're born with a purpose. We have to align ourselves with the purpose and then be able to fulfill it and take out everything as a distraction that comes in the way. Be it fear, be it money, be it a friend, be it family, whatever comes in the way. As controversial as it might sound, sometimes your family comes in the way of your passion. Sometimes your friends will, sometimes your partner will. Those things have happened, do happen, and will continue to happen, because your purpose is the one sole reason you're born, and there is no one else as important. There's no one else as important as your purpose in life. So one has to do whatever it takes. You have to be whatever it takes person. Find your purpose, find your passion, start monetizing it. Use that money to the benefit of everyone, not just yourself. And take out everything as a distraction that comes in that way. This is what I have been following in my life, and this is the same message I would like to, share with everyone as well. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, no one else will.
Wow, that was really a gold mine message over there. So if you are someone who's been struggling, someone who's still, so we, like Arpit shared, we all have a purpose with which we are born. And if money is still a barrier, it's still coming in the way of you achieving that purpose, I suggest everyone to learn how powerful money management is, start building passive income, and just end this game of financial struggle for once and all for your life. And if you want to connect with Arpit, so you can go to askthewiseguy.in and you can write to him over there. Or Arpit, is there any other way through which, if people who want to connect with you, they can?
So I would happy to entertain any email at Arpit at askthewiseguy.in. And if you feel that, I can be of any service to you, it would be my pleasure. And at the same time, uh, just before we leave today, uh, I just want to reiterate the fact that, if you're watching this, you already are someone who is interested. Do you know the difference between someone who's interested and committed? It is simply action. So if you are watching this, you're an interested person, but don't just be interested, be committed.
Thank you, Arpit. Thank you for so much for being on the show. It was really insightful. I'm sure everyone will listen to what you said, and to everyone who heard him saying, I just want you to take action, because Like Arpit shared, that the difference between interested and committed is taking action. So just go out there and take action. Thank you so much, Arpit. Thank you for being on the
Thank
show.
you so much. Thank you, Anish.